Hi, I'm Corey Joe Humphries or WeCJ, and in today's video it's something completely different. I don't really usually get into like the politicsy when it comes to Magic the Gathering. I only really talk about the cards or the sets. However, this had to be talked about. I'm gonna say murder, the sadly vanishing of this person who is really dear and close to all of our hearts. I thought I would have to make a video on today. It's why it's called My Dear Friend or My Dear Red Friend, because if you don't know who I'm talking about, you will eventually, and if you already know, you know that this is a very hard and touching subject. So if you're new to Magic the Gathering or are not big into Magic the Gathering content, every so often Wizards of the Coast or the people that make Magic the Gathering cards do a secret layer, which is kind of like a handful of cards with an alternate art that is kind of priced depending on what cards are in it and the art style of it. And it's a good chance because it's a one-time offer to get this, and they just released the Winter Super Drop 2023. Also, if you are big into Magic the Gathering, I give my own thoughts and opinions, so there is a video on my channel, so go give that a go if you want to see that. So one of the secret layers when it comes to this super drop is snakes, and it's pretty much how I've heard many people say it because it has so many S's at the start and so many S's at the end. So in the video I named previously, I gave it a really good review because the artwork was different for each card, which is very unique. The cards were on a theme, which were really good, and you're able to put it in a snake deck depending on how many colors you want, the minimum being the Simic, which is green, blue. So this video is kind of a change on the review of that, because if Wizards or Hasbro didn't make such a big deal of it, and if it didn't start trending and becoming a meme, I would have kind of slid past it. However, so what they did was make a big song and dance about it, and people are outraged of it and they kind of want it back, or even a version of it where you can get him. And if you're still confused, please keep watching. I will eventually get to the point needed. So one of the cards in the snake secret layer was a serpent coil, and the artwork was really good. I really liked how it was made up of loads of different things. However, the original card, which I will be putting on screen now, looked like this. And now you're probably knowing why it's called My Red Friend, because in the center of the card, there is a small guy being impaled with no blood, because again, it is a kid's game. However, he has his genitalia out, and this is where my problem lies. I understand it is a kid's game at the end of the day, but showing like genitalia in a non-sexual way, I personally think is okay. Getting rid of the blood because he's impaled makes complete sense, but the fact that it got through, got shown, someone made the Secret Layer website about it and nothing was said, was where I got more confused, because it's one of those things that even me thinking of the past, if I'm thinking through a book, the most you're going to get is a haha Willy or haha poopies. That's it. The fact that they had to go and get rid of it, and it wasn't even the fact that they got rid of him, because here's the screen where they've got rid of him. It's kind of how no one cared. They knew it was in the secret layer, people were planning on buying it, everyone's going to get an email that did decide to buy it, letting them know that the artwork has changed slightly, and that's the worst bit about all of this. They're only saying that they're slightly changing the artwork. They're not even giving him a name or kind of justifying what they're doing. They're just saying the artwork has changed. So it's one of those things so that they're trying not to acknowledge it, but by not acknowledging it, by not writing in the Twitter, which this is their own personal Twitter announcement, they're not saying they're getting rid of him. They're just saying they are changing the artwork, which, because they're not putting the focus on it, they're not kind of admitting to the flaws that they've done, being like, yes, you put a red naked guy on it who's been impaled. They're kind of just like, yeah, we're changing something on this card, so it's not a big deal, don't look our way, is kind of the main problem. By not putting a focus on it, you're putting too much of a focus on it. Because if you're saying like, oh, we're only slightly changing the art kind of, we're letting people know, more people are going to be like, wait, what, they're changing? But if you go, oh, we're getting rid of the red guy or the red impaled guy or the naked guy because it's a child's game and people are going to be mothers mainly and fathers that don't want to see that or their children see it are going to be giving us complaints. People would just be like, we don't like it, but we understand why you had to do it. But they're not explaining why they had to do it. They're just kind of trying to kick it underneath the mat. And it's why one of the main reasons it has become such a big meme, especially on Twitter. I have seen so many memes. I've seen TikToks about it. My favorite one is like, oh, when your dad vanishes, like the red guy trying to get milk and there's a photo of him holding 2 milk cartons, and I'm just like, that is hilarious. So the amount of memes and the amount of enjoyment that this red guy has made, I think Wizards should have, possibly even if they are able to do this, to kind of justify their reason, later on have a 18+ secret layer with that card in it, or a way for people to get it. Like if you buy the secret layer and prove somehow with like your ID or your date of birth or something like that, you're able to get that version of it, would be good, because I'm pretty sure because of the memes, because of the hype and because of everything on it, more people are likely to buy it just for the sake of just saying they have one. So when people are in GameStops or their local LGS and they're like, oh, I play Serpent Coil, and you look and there's no red guy and you're like, haha, here is mine. It has the red guy. If there is a way, possibly, I don't care if it's a, do you know, like a fan base card, I forget, proxy. That's it, sorry. If someone even makes a proxy of this card, please let me know, because I'll even buy the proxy just for the sake of the meme. I don't like the card. I have one in my Anima deck, but I'm not the biggest fan of the card. However, if there is someone proxying it in its original art, I'm going to call it, I'm going to buy it just for the sake of the meme. And I know proxies is a whole completely different topic, but I think it's worth it for this card. This card is going to probably be a kind of one of the most known secret layers, or the biggest meme that Magic's going to have for 2023, unless they mess up even bigger somehow. But this card now, personally, and I could be wrong, and I've asked a few people, this card is personally going to be in my heart. I now love this card. And I didn't care about it until Wizards made this big deal and this big announcement and tried to push it on the mat as fast as humanly possible. As always, these are my thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. If there's any memes of this guy, please share them. Also remember to like, follow and subscribe and all that YouTuber stuff that everyone asks for. And I will see you in the next video. And if you want to see more Magic the Gathering content, there's going to be videos everywhere. Go watch them.